revenge as a drug. At least 200 disciples were standing in there in a line waiting for treatment. Everyone was thinking that guy was foolish enough to set this up for free. They all thought that they will get treated in 2 days without paying any money. That guy was gonna give them their worst nightmare, and he will enjoy seeing their faces after so-called treatment. At the front of the line, a woman with a sly grin was eagerly waiting for Kai. She had a bruise on her shoulder that she got after a fight with her roommate. Cultivators heal quickly, and the bruise would have been probably healed after 2 to 3 days, but she was greedy, so here she was. Kai's hand started glowing, and he placed it on her shoulders without warning her about the pleasure she would experience. A warm feeling passed through her body, and she surrendered her body to pleasure and released a powerful moan. Everyone there stared at her, and she fell to her knees as thought all her energy had decided her. She looked at Kai with a murderous gaze, and he simply stared back at her with a neutral face. Why did that happen? This didn't happen to that girl. The girl shot at Kai, smiled in amusement. She managed to control her moan, but if you couldn't do that, it's not my fault. At least your bruise is gone. Kai sat and pointed at her shoulders as she looked at it. Thank you, the girl managed to whisper before she walked away. Kai motioned for the next person to come forward, who was also a girl. She gulped and moved forward. Kai did the same with her, and she also moaned after treating 5 more girls. A man stepped forward. Kai's face immediately darkened as he stared at the man in front of him. A man. Do I have to listen to a man moaning in front of me? Nope. Maybe I should erect a sound barrier around him. No, if I will be healing him, then my body will be in contact with his body, meaning that I will still be able to hear him. Then, if I'm going to down, I'm taking the rest of these guys with me. Maybe I should have thought of a better idea. Guy felt and steeled his nerves. He touched the guy's elbow and started healing him. And the guy tried to clench his teeth and be silent, but it was impossible. He released a moan that was attached in Kai's mind. Thankfully, my mentally is strong enough to endure this. But what about these guys? Kai silently thought as he looked at these people in front of him. That's enough for the demonstration. I will come back tomorrow, Kai said as he pitied the disciples and allowed them to take a rest. The disciples wanted to stop him but knew that it would take them some time to process what had happened. As for me, who moaned, he left the seat. I jumped over 5,000 feet cliff just to fall into a lake at the bottom, but that's another story. When Mia saw Kai in the hallway heading towards his house, she started following Kai. When he saw her, he smiled at her before they both headed away to his house. Upon reaching the entrance, he stopped aside to let me enter the house. He stepped inside after her and closed the door. As for Mia, many thoughts were swirling in her mind, many perverted thoughts. Even though I'm in a dual cultivist sector, this is my first time being alone with a man. Those other who bullied me were always in groups and made sure that at least someone was watching them so that they could laugh at her sick jokes. What if this man attacked me? Will I be able to stop it? Mia's face turned red, and Kai chuckled. You're probably thinking that what will you do if I try to attack you, will I? Not to do anything like that, as I only cultivate with women who want to cultivate with me. There's nothing for you to worry about, Kai said with a smile. Anyways, I'm pretty confident that someone carved those marks on your face. As for the weapon, it might have been poison dagger, he said after Mia's whole body relaxed a little. Mia was astonished by this, and why won't she be astonished? Kai managed to guess everything perfectly by just touching her nose. Yes, are you right? I was captured by some slave traders and sold to a young master's household. He tried to make a move on me, but I denied him. He tried me to a chair in an abandoned forest and gave me a chance to accept him, and I denied him. He became pretty pissed and started carving on my face. But luckily, the sector master were visiting that area for a mission, and they heard my voice. They secured me and brought me to the sector. They gave me cultivation, resources, and helped me. Even though I don't have any special talents, I was able to stay here and become an inner court disciple. I was able to easily stay here, the sector. After all, I did leave many things here. Mia decided to tell Kai her entire story. Kai's face remained neutral as he listened to her story and wondered whether he could go and capture those slave traders and torture them. After Mia finished her story, Kai decided to ask her a question. What happened to that young master you mentioned? Is he still alive? Kai asked neutrally. His family was a huge amount of influence in the Western continent. He simply got away with a year in disciplinary center, which doesn't exist, Mia said in an angry voice. Do you want revenge on him or not? Kai asked with sudden ferocity. Do you want revenge, you say? Every night I dream about 1,000 different ways to torture him. Death by 1,000 cuts. Burned alive. Drowned in the salty water, which cuts all over his body. She said coldly. Then I can help you get your revenge on them. Kai offered to her, and she frowned a little. She doubted that he could do anything against the young master's family, but it was a sweet and deciding thought to think about. Well, I don't have anything to do, so let's do it, Mia replied and closed her arms. But remember one thing, revenge is like a drug. The more people you obtain your revenge from, the more you will want it. Kai suddenly said as Mia smiled. Perhaps I will succumb to the drug, but in the end, it is the sweet to obtain the revenge, she said with a smile and turned away. She bid farewell to him and started making her way back to her house. Kai, however, quietly followed her and stretched his spiritual sense around her. And just like he had thought a group of boys and girls belonging to the Earth spirit realm and Sky spirit realm were following Mia, well, who could have guessed that some random disciples would try to follow her? But if no one could have guessed that, could anyone expect these people to drop dead? He muttered to himself before he followed them.